What's up, everybody? This is Eric from KIFARU, and I'm going to show you the Steelhead and the hydro harness. So what we got here is the Steelhead chest pack and the hydro harness. This one's got the net holster on it, and this was a system. Chest packs have been around for a while. I'm not going to pretend like I'm the first one to make these. I have gone down the road with it. Generally, this started for me fishing, being able to have my fishing gear on me, and also being able to wear a pack on top of it. So a long time ago, you've probably seen this on Kevin Estella's Instagram. I made this pack, 2 or 3 years ago, and I carried this one for a good long time. The thing is that it either held a pistol or it held fishing gear, and it didn't hold much in between. I had all of my normal headlamp, lighter, aqua purifying tabs, stuff like that in here, and then I would, based on what I was doing, I would change up what I had in here. If I was hiking in, I had my pistol. Once I got to where I was going, I would switch it out for fishing gear and usually put the pistol on my belt. And then it just had a fairly simple spacer mesh back. This is made with 7mm spacer mesh, and it actually does a really good job of absorbing sweat, and then as the breeze comes across, it cools you down using convection cooling. So it was actually pretty good at that. But this one, I had limited options. Whenever I bent over, my fishing gear would fall out. It was kind of a pain in the butt. So then I started going back past with our old koala design, and I had 2 different compartments. I tried the thinner spacer mesh. It didn't work as good. It didn't cool me down the way that I wanted. I tried it with the Grimlocks, and they creak under load, and it wasn't really ideal. This was the first one though where I had the rip tabs, which I'll show you later on, that interrupted the zipper, and it made it way easy to open and get to this pocket very quickly. The front pocket here was very thin, but the way that it was sewn wasn't that great for our sewers. So then eventually I started going down the road. This one got a lot of use. This is what I used this whole fishing season, and this actually proved to be pretty successful. It's got these big, I call them raptor mouths because I'm a dork, but really what it does is it makes a bucket in front of you that you can drop your trash in. You don't need to use your fish pond P.O. pod thing that always falls off and you have to chase it. You can just dump your trash in here and then you clean it out when you get home. So now that brings us to the final iteration here. I've got this one set up. This one's got a bunch of padding in it, so it looks a lot bigger than it really is. But we've got a hemostat pocket up front. We've got 2 retractor exits right here, and on the inside there's a retractor garage, and it just uses the cheapo $6 gator clip style retractors that you get at any fishing store. And it's actually big enough that you can fit 3 or 4 in there, so you could have multiple tools hanging off of here, and then they go into this pocket so that they don't get caught up in your fly line. It's actually pretty good. There's 1-inch elastic in here, and then there's also tabs sewn in the bottom. So I'll keep my my spot device in here, because usually when I'm fishing I can send all clears, or it's just easy to get to, but I found that it's also easy for things to fall out of here. So there's a tab in here that you can dummy cord things in. The other side I usually have bugged open sunscreen. There's a lot of Velcro on this, and some guys will use the, I think it's the CFS boxes. They're the open-sided boxes that you can really let your flies dry in, or you could put a cool guy patch there. And then up here, because when this is open, I'll just put mine on to show you. So when this is open, you don't get access to this anymore. So if you have a workspace up here, and let's say you're changing out or you're putting a different nymph on and you need to put that little tiny $5 booger somewhere so that you don't drop it, you can put it right there. On the inside you can see that there's a tweed pocket that's also reinforced with elastic in there, and that just helps with longevity and keeping things in there. I've got my dry and wet fly box. This is a double-sided Umpqua, and it gets kind of chunky, but it does what it does. And then I've got one for when I'm pan fishing. There's a bunch of hoppers and annoying flies that they will jump on. I got shake and bake. I got my tippet stack. You can attach this on the sides out here. There's webbing all over this guy. You got to put it in the right spot. A lot of times I'll just keep it inside the pack, because I find when this is hanging out here, that's the first thing that's going to get caught up on my line. And I'm really only messing with this for a little bit of time. It doesn't really need to be out all the time. But I do keep floating, and then a rubber band for drying off my flies. In the middle here, there's a spot that you could put a spare set of hemostats, a hook out tool. I do a little Leatherman juice in case I have any problems with my reels. I can take them apart. On the inside, I've got floatants. I got a knot guide because I'm a dummy and I only know a couple of knots. I got the old car mount and fly line cleaner. So on the inside, and I'm going to come around here to show you this, and this is probably screwing up at least David's thing. I'll focus on David because Kinsey can move. On the inside, there's a pocket in here, and this is for your driver's license and your fishing license. That way you could ditch your wallet. And then on the inside here, that's the zipper or the zinger garage. So I've lost things on the trail. I've had to drive people down the mountain to get a spare set of keys. So that's why all of our stuff has these key hooks in it. And that's why I've got a spot to put your credentials so that you don't have to worry about your wallet. Sometimes I'll have the wallet in the back. You just have to remember to get your driver's license out of that pocket before you pack this in the bottom of your truck, because you will get to the bar and you will have to dig out all of your shit. So up here, this is the rip handle. And there's one on either side, and it's just inset of this point. On a lot of these other ones, I had it on the outside so it was easier to get, but as you would walk, this gap would open and open and open and open. So what this is this is to get access to your firearm. This is unloaded, clear chamber, everything's good to go. This is all Velcro, so you could do anything with this Velcro. And of course, I'm showing the not production friendly one. The production model will have Velcro on this side too. So this is a Glock 43X with a light on it, but this will fit pretty much any pistol. I've got a big 8-shot 357 Smith & Wesson, and it barely fits in here, but it does fit. So the final model, which is this guy, has these tabs in it. And what you can do with these tabs, and each one will come with this, is I call it the Drawbridge System, but you just put the cord in here, and then you've got a bigger workspace. So let's say you want to put all of your streamers in here. You want to have drying patches with all of your flies because you're constantly switching things out. You can have land nav stuff in here. You can have a map. You can have all your pencils and compasses and shit. That's the idea behind that. You can take that cord out if you don't want it, or if you do want it and you don't really carry a pistol, you can carry more fly boxes. Whatever you want to do. On the inside, these are double-sided zipper pulls. So based on what you want to do, it takes a little bit of getting used to, but by zipping it up this way and having those on the inside, you're not really advertising what's in there. Anybody who knows what this is knows what you got in there. But it keeps things clean on the outside, and then when you want to get to it, it's there. If you don't want to have those on the inside, just flip them to the outside. These have heat shrink on them because if you have a pistol with a hammer on it, it will get caught. And zipping this up is kind of like packing a parachute. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. So you just have to make sure that the zipper pulls aren't behind the rip tab, because then you're going to pull on it and it's not going to go anywhere, and then you're going to get eaten by a bear. On the back, I've got the net holster, and I will take this off to put it on. So what we got here is a net holster. This will go anywhere on our belt pouch matrix. So on this, on here, on your belt, anywhere. And what this is, you guys probably already figured it out. It's just a place to stick your net so it stays up out of the water and it's not hitting you in the back of the calves. And it's also low enough that it's not getting caught on branches as you're trying to sneak up on a hole. Because really what this was designed for, I go after brookies quite a bit, and crawling under logs and getting under bushes and trying to get to that perfect hole usually isn't the easiest thing. And if it is easy to get to it, that means that hole's been way overfished and there's probably not a whole lot of fish in there. Or there's a bunch of power bait cans everywhere. So this keeps the net up and away from hitting you in the back of the legs. It does take some use getting to it, but I use a magnetic holder and then just a springy. I've been through 3 or 4 of the heavier duty retractors, and you got to get the good janitor grade, you know, 20 pounds of keys in order for them to hold up. Let's see how to do that. Oh yeah, first try. Did I get it? Yeah. So you can see that it hooks up. The retractor will help itself locate. If you just do one of the springy ones, it doesn't help you as much. But in the back, water, your usual stuff. I keep all of my emergency stuff in a possibles pull-out because I go through a lot of prototypes, and it's just easier to throw a pouch with all of my gear in there. But yeah, on the bottom, we've got webbing, and this is for bear spray. I like to keep a bungee on here because I can keep a rain shell. Usually it'll start raining when you're on the opposite side of the lake from your gear. So I can throw a rain shell in here, but if I detach and all I have is the Steelhead Harness, then there's no place to put it. The Steelhead Harness, this is an optional extra. So we're gonna sell all of this stuff individually. You'll be able to buy the pocket in case you want to put it on somebody else's harness. This will work with any 1-inch harness. We're going to sell this harness in case you want to put it on anybody else's stuff. And then we're going to sell the hydro harness as a separate thing. So you're going to be able to build your system how you want. Usually what I'll do is I'll wear this if I have a pack on, because this rides no problem under any of our packs for the hike up. And then when I get where I'm going, I'll take the hydro harness, or I'll just use this. The hydro harness actually has tabs on the bottom, and you could hook it up like a Sherman anywhere on your pack, and then these top parts will clip up here just like a Sherman. So like most of our stuff, it's all modular and it's meant to clip together. And you could use it with our gear, you could use it with other people's gear.
You can use it just like a lid too.
And you can use it just like a lid. That's what these tabs up top are for. So the Steelhead will also work as a lid. It's got tabs on the bottom, on the top. You'll need to get the guide lid kit in order for it to be 100% usable, but everything clips together.
Like everything we try and do here, we try to make everything as versatile, interchangeable as possible. Bender knocked it out of the park with this system, and he's been working on it, as you saw in the other video, for a very, very long time. One of the things that I wanted was the hydro pack to be able to work as a lid, and then that way, you know, if I have my normal harness on when I'm hiking in, I wasn't using, you know, this wasn't just stuffed in my pack. So clipped a super lightweight, you know, standard harness off, pop this thing off the pack, hook it on, and I'm ready to roll as far as on stocks and have my hydration. Bender, do you want to cover the Steelhead?
Yeah. So full spiel?
No, just a lid.
Okay. You can use it as a lid.
So much like the
So it's got tabs on the back. You could hook this up any number of ways. The final model, the back pocket is full Velcro lined on either side. So people that are traveling with our packs, this is a great thing that you could clip off the top of your pack, take to the seat with you, and then you can stow the rest of the stuff in the overhead bin, and you could have a tablet in the back. It'll be well protected.
This is on the smaller muskeg, but it hooks on just like a lid. Nothing special. Super simple. It's got the tab loops top and bottom. Very easy. As far as this being kind of ran as a Sherman, you can run this elevated, and you can hook up here where we have it hooked to basically the side where a grabit would go. You can actually hook it to the top tab loops if you need to. It's extremely versatile. The big thing is you can take it off, put it on your back. It's not in the way, and it can carry some stuff in. So total package with everything we're looking at, you've got the Steelhead, which is the chest rig, fly fishing rig. You've got the hydro pack, the standard Rogan fanny pack, the Rogan with the battle belt, and then obviously you can put the mini belt pouches on there or the Nalgene bottle pocket. So a lot of different options, extremely versatile, and it works basically with anything we've ever made.
And there's one more thing. The hydro pack we haven't covered on is the ability to work with itself. So there's 2 tabs down here that are angled tabs, and that is something that you could take. So we've got the upper tabs, and these are higher up so that they'll hook up to your chest rig. The lower tabs are at an angle so that you can move your bottom straps down. And then you just have small camelback. It's a little bit weird to adjust because you got tensioners all over the place, but it's another thing you can do with this back. It works very well at that.